Winter weather expected to hit parts of Alabama. Drivers could be dealing with snow and ice on their vehicles. But if you don't clear that snow off your car and it flies off and hits someone else, can you be held responsible legally? Let's verify. Imagine you're driving down the highway when suddenly a chunk of ice flies off the car in front of you and hits your windshield. Can that driver be held legally responsible in Alabama? Let's verify. Our sources include the Alabama Code and Alabama's negligence law. Here's what we found. Unlike some other states, Alabama does not have a specific law requiring drivers to remove snow and ice before hitting the road. But that doesn't mean you're off the hook. Under Alabama's general negligence laws, all drivers have a duty to exercise reasonable care to avoid harming others on the road. If ice or snow flies off your vehicle and damages another car, the other driver could sue for negligence. You could also face criminal charges. Under Alabama Code 325A190, if ice or snow from your car hits another vehicle and it's deemed reckless, driving carelessly or in a way that endangers others, you could be cited for reckless driving. In other words, driving in a way that puts people or property at risk can lead to legal trouble. Alabama courts are clear. Drivers must adapt their behavior in bad weather. You can't control the weather, but you are expected to drive safely, reduce speed, maintain control, and use reasonable care. Bad weather does not excuse negligence. But there is one important factor to note. Alabama uses something called contributory negligence. This means if the damaged driver is even a little bit at fault, they can't collect any money for damages. Proving that ice or snow from your specific vehicle caused damage can be challenging. Witnesses, dashcam footage, or other clear evidence is typically needed. So we can verify that yes, even without a specific snow removal law, Alabama drivers can be held legally responsible if ice or snow from their car damages another vehicle through civil liability or criminal citations. And if you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.
Impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more. All available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
Well, we are going to see those temperatures still in that 40s and maybe even 50s range for today, but this will be the last full day where we are dry and where we see temperatures, I think, above freezing for at least the next 4 to 5 days as winter weather will set in tomorrow night. Tonight is going to be similar to last night into that upper 20s to lower 30s range. A little more cloud cover, but we are going to see the change here by Friday afternoon as temperatures do not get above 40 degrees, staying dry. I think after sunset is when that winter weather is going to move in. Snow, sleet, maybe even a little bit of some ice and freezing rain, especially in some of those Mississippi counties here. We'll continue to see precipitation through all of Saturday, most of Sunday, and even though Monday and Tuesday are going to be dry, very bitter cold, single-digit wind chills.
Good morning, Megan. Taking a look on Cohen Walker Drive now, where it's a mostly cloudy atmosphere to walk out the door to. Be thankful for it because the clouds have kept your numbers about 20 degrees warmer in areas like Warner Robins, walking out to 43 degrees as opposed to maybe 23 degrees in some spots yesterday. Temperature wise, now we are scattered all about the 40s once again, with the exception of Swainsboro at 39 and a 50 over there in Thomaston already. So cloud cover is pretty widespread, continuing to build in from west to east, and lots of scattered drizzle showers farther up to the north and the northwest, some present in Monroe, Lamar, getting over into Upson County and Butts and Jasper counties. Those areas are going to see their fair share of on and off rain throughout today. Those chances are going to be best to the north and the northwest, where your high temperature should be a little bit colder than 62 degrees. However, if you live down to the south, more sunshine in the forecast means that your numbers should warm up somewhere in the mid 60s for highs today. So kind of a half and half forecast. I do believe most of everyone is going to deal with a predominantly gloomy atmosphere tomorrow. On and off rain chances will be possible all over central central Georgia. And then we could see this rain possibly transition into a wintry mix as early as Saturday afternoon. That's what our high resolution model seems to hint at, where we could see some spotty areas of that pink shade, that wintry mix. So some freezing rain, some possible sleet. This is not anything that we're forecasting in the way of snow, but for the most part, Saturday is looking at pretty dry. So I don't anticipate any impacts from those spotty wintry mix showers that you could see throughout Saturday afternoon. But then as we transition into Sunday, I think that's the window where we could see some more likely impacts here, mainly in northern central Georgia. We continue to have the most confidence in those potential impacts in our northernmost counties, getting down close to the Macon area, and we still have a slim possibility of seeing some very thin layers of ice down in south central Georgia, but not all the way to our southern counties where we have little to no confidence that you'll see anything besides some rain showers in the forecast. So still a lot to fine tune as we get closer. It's a very up in the air forecast right now, updated as we get closer to this weekend.
Don't ever wait until the last minute because supplies run out.
Residents in more than 24 states are bracing for a monster winter storm set to bring damaging ice and heavy snow.
It's getting pretty desperate out there. I guess everybody's running out of stuff.
That includes supplies to get ready for the storm.
We've gone through all our supplies, so we sold out of ice melt.
I'm looking for rock salt.
It's hard to find this stuff.
The massive storm's impact zone could stretch more than 1,500 miles from the plains across the south and into the northeast. More than 90 million people across parts of 23 states are already under winter storm watches.
No, never too soon to worry about the weather.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, one of many state leaders already mobilizing resources to prepare. Airlines and airports, including Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International, one of the world's busiest, also getting ready.
Our snow team, we're doing a lot of preparation.
Of particular concern is the ice set to hit southern states, making roads treacherous and extended power outages possible. North and South Carolina have declared states of emergency. Meanwhile, heavy snow, up to a foot in some places, is expected to the north of the storm's freezing rain zone. The Arctic blast will also bring bone-chilling cold, potentially breaking daily high and low cold temperature records. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
The death of a Cuban man who lived in Henrietta and died while in ICE custody at Camp East Montana in El Paso, Texas, ruled a homicide Wednesday. According to an autopsy report obtained by 13 WHAM's sister station KFOX, 55-year-old Geraldo Lunas Campos' death was caused by asphyxia due to neck and torso compression. On January 9th, ICE first reported that Lunas Campos, a convicted felon arrested in Rochester last July, experienced a medical crisis on January 3rd and died at the Texas facility. Last week, a Homeland Security spokesperson told 13 WHAM Lunas Campos attempted to take his own life and said, quote, he violently resisted the security staff and continued to attempt to take his life. During the ensuing struggle, Campos stopped breathing and lost consciousness, end quote. The autopsy report noted Lunas Campos had a medical history that included bipolar disorder and anxiety. It also said he sustained scattered superficial abrasions and was witnessed to become unresponsive while being physically restrained by law enforcement. According to federal court documents filed in Texas Tuesday, 2 witnesses provided their account of the incident. The filing says Santos Jesus Flores, a detainee at Camp East Montana, told the Washington Post he witnessed guards choking Lunas Campos. Documents say another detainee, Antonio Ascan Frometa, told the newspaper he saw Lunas Campos struggling with guards before his death. An attorney representing Lunas Campos' family says an emergency motion was filed in federal court seeking to prevent the government from deporting the 2 witnesses. He told 13 WHAM Wednesday, quote, we are seeking to take their depositions to preserve that evidence for a wrongful death case that we anticipate filing on behalf of Lunas Campos' family, end quote. 13 WHAM reached out to DHS for comment on the homicide ruling, and we were referred to their previous statement, which says in part, this is still an active investigation and more details are forthcoming. ICE investigates the circumstances of all deaths in custody, end quote.
President Trump calls it the art of the deal. Critics say he bowed to international pressure as the U.S. backs off its threat to take Greenland by force. Instead, the president says there's a framework of a deal in place that would guarantee America's security interests, including more American bases for the Golden Dome missile defense shield. Critics say that offer was already on the table. The president didn't need to threaten military force or new tariffs to get it. And the Danish government is denying it agreed to give the U.S. sovereignty over small pockets of Greenland for military use. European leaders are meeting for emergency talks on the Greenland deal. Most are saying they welcome the president's change in tone, and they're ready to work with the White House to beef up Arctic security. But it's still not clear what the final deal will look like as negotiations get underway. NATO's Secretary General says he has not discussed the sovereignty issue with President Trump. In New Greenland, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
We can see that Donald Trump do what he's best of, make confusion. And he has now a position on that. That can change tomorrow. I think that the Danish position should be that we stay firm on our position and we should stay firm on the European position. As long as Donald Trump is in the White House, there's no relief in my respect.
I think the man has said many things and done a lot of different things to what he says. I have a hard time believing it. I think it's terrifying that we stand here in 2026. It's about the people of Greenland. It's their land. It's not, I'm Danish, it's not my land. It has nothing to do with me. It's their land. They get to decide what's up with that, not Donald Trump.
Well, I don't really trust anything Mr. Trump is saying. Secondly, I think the reason he's saying stuff, he's raised by New York lawyers. He knows that when you push people, they move. If they don't, you push them more.
Drivers can expect cheaper gas in 2026. It's a rare source of relief as many Americans are drowning in higher prices.
It's going to be a very affordable year for many Americans when it comes to filling their tanks.
Patrick DeHaan with fuel savings platform Gas Buddy says national prices are projected to average around $2.97 a gallon. That's the cheapest it's been since COVID. That's about 13 cents cheaper this year than last year.
It doesn't sound like a whole lot. It's still going to save Americans $11 billion over the course of 2026.
That would translate to an average household spending of just over $2,000 on gas for the year, down from $2,700 in 2022. So what's causing this?
OPEC is primarily the reason why gas prices this year are going to be lower, is because OPEC is producing more.
DeHaan says there are some wild cards that could cause prices to go up, like hurricanes, political conflict in Iran, or the war between Russia and Ukraine becoming more volatile. But ultimately, DeHaan says this downward trend will continue throughout the year. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
I've always been pretty transparent with my emotions and feelings.
Meet Joe Tuiana.
I have a passion for human beings. I'm a very lovable person.
Joe loves to help others.
Suicide prevention experience on an overpass in Lehigh. And just had a struggling bro who's in a suicide crisis. And I used the words, "I love you, bro," and only the words, "I love you, bro."
After saving someone else's life in 2022,
it compelled me, almost just forced me into the mental health arena.
he did his own research and felt men's mental health isn't talked about enough.
Start a little group for Aaron, that's this bro's name, and we can maybe get him some connection, and talk a little bit about our feelings and stuff.
I think for years and years, the messaging to men has been that they just need to buck up and deal with it.
Joe came up with the idea for a free men's group to meet up and talk.
We meet every week, same time, same place, holidays, you name it, we're here, we roll.
People kept showing up, Now it's called the I Love You Bro Project.
Men specifically need to have a place that's weekly and consistent for them to go for those types of challenges and to have those types of difficult conversations.
And I'm using this as a way to make it more comfortable for other bros to come through and talk about things going on with them.
He started with one group in Provo. Now there's 10 across the state with a group that meets every Thursday at Aspen Ridge in Tooele.
And then have that release and that safe space where they won't be judged. And they know that they can just have the freedom to discuss whatever they need.
Weston Brandon and Ashish Patel lead the weekly group that meets in the Tooele area.
The reason why I do it is because I myself have struggled with mental health for years.
Having gone through some serious dark times myself and coming out of that, I empathize very heavily with guys that are in those dark places.
They both know how much these meetings can make a positive impact.
I also know as a man that it's really hard to feel comfortable talking to other people.
Yeah, and mental health's an ongoing thing, right? So even as much as we go through the process of discussing what's going on with us and trying to overcome those things, it takes time.
In Tooele, Avery Klanowski, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Kristen Bell is back in the spotlight. The performer is set to host this year's The Actor Awards, previously known as the SAG Awards. It'll be Bell's third time hosting the show. The Actor Awards stream live on Netflix March 1st. Film editors appreciate Ang Lee. The Oscar-winning director of Brokeback Mountain and Life of Pi is this year's recipient of the American Cinema Editors Filmmaker of the Year Award. He'll be honored at the 76th Annual Ace Eddie Awards, February 27th in Los Angeles.
I get it. He's a talented athlete.
He's a cocky idiot. Besides, you already have a partner.
I always imagined we'd be doing this together. Now I want you to lose.
The three daughters of a figure skating dynasty are at the center of Finding Her Edge. Competition, attraction, and commitment to family collide in the series, which takes the ice today on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
In Yuba City, I've been picking fruit for as long as I remember. Migrant workers do what no one else wants to do in this country. Now, it's my turn to live the American dream.
A young singer hungers for music stardom in the drama Clicker. The film's protagonist is portrayed by singer-turned-actor J.D.
I need something different. I want a goshawk.
Goshawks, the wildest and maddest of raptors.
I'm gonna call you Mabel.
A woman grieving her late father befriends a raptor in H is for Hawk. Claire Foy stars in the film based on the memoir of author Helen MacDonald.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
You're not from here, are you?
I'm looking for someone.
Everyone got sick in Silent Hill. You really never heard about any of this?
Return to Silent Hill is the third film based on the popular video game franchise. Known for his work on the Silent Hill games and movies, composer Akira Yamaoka returns to score the latest installment. Getting refills of popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
A South Florida grocery store had a bizarre beef play out with a shopper who allegedly shoved a pair of steaks down his pants. According to WPLG, the owner of Kosher Kingdom in Aventura, Florida, says the man was spotted on surveillance cramming a ribeye and a large brisket in his britches.
He came over here, looked around to see if anybody was looking, and he shoved it in his pants.
He reportedly saved room in his pair of pants for a wine pairing, allegedly concealing a bottle as well, before being confronted by employees in an adjacent parking lot who got the stuffed foodstuffs back.
He ran off after we got the stuff back. By the time the cops got there, he was gone.
The owner told WPLG he understands meat prices are high right now, but also said regardless, it's not right to come in and steal. By the way, I had like 5 steaks in pants jokes that were deemed inappropriate, so I was forced to trim the fat. And from Choice Cuts, to ice cutting. Coast Guard cutter crews are getting a lot of work these days, helping ships push their way through frozen waters. The U.S. Coast Guard Great Lakes recently made back-to-back posts on their Facebook page showing cutter vessels assisting large ships stuck in ruts of thick ice on Lakes Huron and Erie by bypassing them to break up the sheets, thus clearing the way for transit. The Coast Guard says these cutting vessels and their intrepid crews play a vital role of ensuring safe and navigable waterways, even when Mother Nature has other plans. Finally, one more surreal sight on an icy night. Recent intense geomagnetic and solar radiation storms led to an amazing night light show in places like this chill spot in Canada where the glimmering, shimmering auroras were in rare and riveting form. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
At 93 years old, Donald Cohen knows a thing or two about time. And today, he's spending his getting a fresh manicure in a room full of new friends.
Oh, it's fantastic to speak to people that are alive.
They're high school students from St. Mary's, volunteering with the nonprofit Glamour Gals. Once a month, they trade social media for sparkles, offering makeovers, crafts, and conversations to seniors in assisted living communities.
I was already pretty, so it's a little bit more.
Debbie says it's the extra attention that makes her feel special.
Sometimes people don't realize that the smallest things can count the most.
It all started more than 2 decades ago with a teen from here on Long Island. And now the nonprofit has more than 100 chapters nationwide, including several from the area.
From filing to friendship, the students say it's way more than beauty. It's about belonging.
I love what I do. It's really a blessing. It's a privilege to be able to bring happiness to other people's grandmas the way I want to bring to mine.
A privilege and a powerful reminder that sometimes the best history lessons don't come from books.
Getting to know all of the residents, it really touches my heart. It's nice to sit with them and let them talk, and they'll have a good time. Just painting their nails can make their entire week.
The residents really love this because they get to talk to the kids and give their wisdom.
Knowing that we're improving their days, knowing that we're reminding them that they still matter. People care to visit them, and people care to hear their stories.
Teaching that caring never goes out of style. In Great Neck, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush, fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.